Picture this. While you're doom-scrolling through climate disaster news in your overpriced apartment, Mark Zuckerberg is building a $300 million underground fortress in Hawaii, complete with blast doors and its own food supply. I know what you're thinking. Wow, another feel-good story about billionaires. But stick with me here, because this rabbit hole goes deeper than Zuck's bunker, literally. Welcome to today's completely normal story about how the people who broke the world are now building luxury hidey holes to escape it. Yes, you heard that right. The same tech bros who promised to make the world a better place are now investing in what I can only describe as apocalypse Airbnbs. Oh, and get this, they come with bowling alleys. Let me ask you something that's going to bother you for the rest of this video. What do the richest, most powerful people on Earth know that you don't? Because right now, over 50% of Silicon Valley billionaires have what they call apocalypse insurance. But here's the thing that should terrify you. These are the same people with access to data we'll never see. The same people who sit in meetings we'll never know about. And they're all doing the exact same thing. In tech bro circles, there's now a secret code phrase. When someone says they're buying a house in New Zealand, they're not talking about a vacation home. They mean something else entirely. Something they don't want you to know about. It's like Fight Club, except the first rule got leaked, and what got leaked will make your skin crawl. But wait, it gets worse. And I need you to pay attention to this next part because it reveals everything. Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who knows more about you than your own mother, just spent $300 million on something in Hawaii. Not a mansion. Not a resort. He built a 5,000 square foot underground bunker with blast doors so secretive that workers were forced to sign NDAs that one employee described as creating a Fight Club atmosphere. What does Zuckerberg know that made him spend more than most countries' GDP on a hole in the ground? Then there's Peter Thiel. This is where things get genuinely disturbing. He managed to get New Zealand citizenship after spending just wait for it, 12 days in the country. 12 days. That's not normal. That's not how immigration works. Unless, and stick with me here, unless you know something's coming. But the most unsettling part? Sam Altman. The guy literally building the AI that experts warn could end humanity. His biggest fear isn't his own creation. It's something much simpler, much closer. His survival kit includes guns, gold, gas masks, and antibiotics. Why would the man building our future be stockpiling for its end? Here's where this story takes a turn you won't see coming. Douglas Rushkoff, a media theorist, got invited to what he thought was a speaking gig. He shows up at this desert resort, expecting to give a keynote. Instead, he's ushered into a room with 5 billionaires. No audience, no keynote. Just 5 of the wealthiest humans alive with one burning question. How do we keep our security guards from killing us when money becomes worthless? Let that sink in. The people who run the world are literally planning for the moment their money can't save them. And if that doesn't make you wonder what's coming, you're not paying attention. I'm about to show you something that will completely change how you see the world, because what you think you know about survival, it's nothing compared to what's actually being built right now underneath your feet. You're imagining concrete boxes with canned beans, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. And the reality is so insane that when I tell you the price tag, you're going to think I'm lying. The survival condo in Kansas, former nuclear missile silo. The price? $1.5 million for half a floor. But here's what's going to mess with your head. They're sold out. Completely. Every single unit. Someone knows something you don't. Now, before I tell you what's inside these bunkers, I need you to understand something crucial. These aren't being built by crazy preppers in the woods. These are being built by companies backed by Wall Street. Companies that are currently valued at hundreds of millions of dollars. Ask yourself, why would smart money be flooding into the apocalypse? Inside these bunkers, and I need you to really visualize this, there's a swimming pool with a water slide. There's a rock climbing wall, a shooting range, and LED windows that can display any view you want. One buyer, and this will haunt you, requested a loop of Central Park with authentic New York City taxi sounds. This person is literally planning to survive the apocalypse by pretending it never happened. But nothing prepared me for what I discovered next. The Rising S Company's top model, the Aristocrat, costs $8.35 million. And it has, wait for it, a bowling alley. Let that sink in. While you're worried about your mortgage, someone just spent $8 million on an underground bowling alley for the end times. Here's the part that should actually scare you. In Germany, Vivo's Europa 1 isn't just building bunkers. They're building an underground city, complete with, and this is where it gets dark, its own detention center, its own jail. Think about that. They're not just planning to survive the apocalypse, they're planning to govern it. But the most disturbing part? The marketing. Listen to this actual quote from their brochure. Forget rusting metal doors and crumbling concrete. Say hello to swimming pools, gardens, and galleries. They're not selling survival. They're selling superiority. They're selling a world where the apocalypse is just another lifestyle choice, if you can afford it. And here's the question that should keep you up at night. If the world's richest people are all suddenly building bunkers, what event are they preparing for that hasn't been announced yet? Okay, stop everything. Because what I'm about to tell you reveals the darkest truth about human nature. And once you hear it, you'll never look at powerful people the same way again. Remember that billionaire meeting? Their number one fear, bigger than nuclear war, bigger than climate collapse, was this. How do we control our security guards when money becomes worthless? Their solutions will genuinely disturb you. Shock collars. On human beings, they actually discussed putting shock collars on their security teams. But it gets worse. They also considered secret locks on food supplies that only they would know. And here's the one that reveals everything about how these people think. They want to develop robot guards just in time to replace the humans. Do you understand what this means? The people who control your data, your job, your future, they see other humans as threats to be controlled, not people to be saved. But here's the twist that none of them saw coming, and it's already happening. Remember Biosphere 2? $200 million experiment. The most sophisticated closed ecosystem ever built. 8 brilliant people sealed inside. Here's what happened, and why every billionaire should be terrified. The oxygen dropped so low they could barely think. The crew split into 2 warring factions who wouldn't even look at each other. Everyone lost 16% of their body weight from starvation. And these were trained scientists who went in as friends. Now imagine entitled billionaires who've never cooked a meal trying to survive together underground. The psychology alone would destroy them in weeks. But wait, I haven't even told you the worst part yet. Those vertical farms they're counting on for food? The entire industry is collapsing. Right now, as we speak. Companies worth billions are declaring bankruptcy because, and this is almost funny if it weren't so tragic, it turns out growing food indoors is impossibly expensive when you actually have to pay for electricity. The billionaire's entire food plan is based on technology that's failing in the real world with unlimited resources. What happens when the power runs out underground? And here's the question that should haunt them. What if the people building their bunkers hate them as much as their future security guards will? I'm about to connect the dots in a way that will fundamentally change how you see the world. Because this isn't really about bunkers. It never was. Think about this. The people building these bunkers are the exact same people who caused the problems they're fleeing from. They broke the climate, pushing infinite growth. They destroyed social cohesion with algorithms designed to make us angry. They concentrated wealth until society started cracking. And their solution? Not to fix what they broke, but to abandon you. Here's the statistic that should make your blood boil. These billionaires could pool just 10% of their bunker budget and literally solve homelessness in America. They could fund renewable energy transitions. They could rebuild social safety nets. Instead, they're spending $300 million per person to build fancy graves. But here's the cosmic joke that they're too rich to understand, and this is backed by every single disaster study ever conducted. The only thing that actually saves people in a crisis isn't bunkers or bullets. It's other people. Community. The same community they've spent decades destroying through their platforms and business models. Listen to what an actual tactical survival trainer said. Not some YouTube prepper, but someone who trains Navy SEALs. The only way to survive is if your neighbors survive too. Otherwise, they'll just pull you out of your bunker and kill you. Do you get what this means? Every dollar they spend isolating themselves makes them less safe, not more. They're literally paying to decrease their chances of survival. But here's the part that should actually give you hope. In the darkest possible way, these bunkers, they're not escape plans, they're tombstones, monuments to the greatest delusion in human history, that you can be so rich you don't need other people. When the real crisis comes, and with these people in charge it will, they'll seal themselves in their designer bunkers and slowly realize they've built the world's most expensive prisons. No one's coming to save them. Their money is worthless. Their security guards have the guns. And that bowling alley? It's just a very expensive reminder of a world they destroyed and can never get back. The funniest part? We don't even need to storm their bunkers. We just need to wait. Because every expert agrees. In a real collapse, isolated bunkers are death traps, not lifeboats. They know this. Deep down, they know. That's why they keep asking about the guards. That's why they can't sleep. That's why they're spending millions on holes in the ground. They're not preparing for the apocalypse, they're creating it. And they know that when it comes, all the money in the world won't save them from what they've done. So, there you have it. The complete guide to how Silicon Valley plans to survive the apocalypse they're actively creating. In style, with bowling. These aren't survival bunkers. They're monuments to the greatest achievement of late-stage capitalism, convincing billionaires that they can literally buy their way out of consequences. Will their escape plan work? Probably not. Will it be hilarious to watch them try? Absolutely. If you enjoyed watching me lose what little faith I had left in humanity, smash that like button. It's free, and it'll help more people discover just how insane our timeline has become. Drop a comment below with your favorite billionaire bunker amenity. Was it the bowling alley? The detention center? The fake windows playing taxi sounds? I genuinely want to know which detail broke your brain the most. And hey, if you want more content about how the ultra-rich are making increasingly unhinged decisions with their infinite money, hit subscribe and the bell icon. Because trust me, this rabbit hole goes so much deeper, and I've got nothing better to do than document the absurdity. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the world's most expensive way to miss the point entirely. Remember, when the world ends, at least the billionaires will have somewhere nice to watch it from. The rest of us, well, we'll always have the comments section. They promised to change the world, they just never specified which direction. And honestly, building a bunker with a bowling alley to escape the apocalypse they helped create? That's the most Silicon Valley thing I've ever heard. Move fast and break things, they said. Nobody mentioned they meant the entire planet.
Satire.